Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Illustrating Failure. And so today we have another episode of Self-Care Mondays. And so for today's episode, it's about loving your body. It sounds like a little bit scandalous, but it's not that kind of self-care. And there's a lot of different ways you can love your body. But the thing that I want to get into today is treating your body well. And I think, when I was younger, I used to treat everything as a sprint. I would pull all-nighters and I just sprint from point A to point B. And if I take any damage in between, I'll just get up, shake it off, recover the next day. I'm like, hey man, mind over matter. I gotta keep going. There's no time for stops, breaks, because that is weak. But as I got older, I realized that it's not exactly sustainable to go about it like that in terms of work. Parts of this machine was starting to wear, and I realized the constraints of my own body in terms of I talked a little bit about my wrist pain, my tendonitis, and then when you're sitting for long periods of time, there's sometimes fairly bad back pain from just desk work. And I realized that there's no point in sprinting if that's gonna just take you out of the game. And in terms of working, I think it is at the end of the day more of a marathon where this is a long game in terms of you need to take some stops, some rest in order to refuel, recharge, in order to keep going, because if you don't, it's going to take you out of the game. I think I only started realizing that when I was in the process of doing just everything I possibly can to be a productive person and to push myself to stay in this game. Before, about how listen to a lot of self-help podcasts or read a lot of self-help articles. And honestly, I was just trying everything I possibly could to be in that better mental state. Between all of the articles, everything exercise was just a common denominator for everything. And if one person says, oh, exercise helped them, whatever. And I think when I saw that that was the common link between so many of these productive people from different fields, like I said before, it doesn't hurt to try something, and if it doesn't work out at the end of the day, you're not losing anything. It was when I was starting to really wanting to regiment myself that I'm okay, I need to start doing this daily, because I see the people who are really productive, they are exercising every day, and I don't really know the science behind it, but if it's working for 100% of those people, there's at least a 1% chance it'll work for me. I'm not a math major. And honestly, it comes down to things like discipline. But I think it also is really important in terms of managing your stress when you are in a high stress state. I know some people out there is oh, these people at home, what do they have to stress about? But I think honestly, it is more stressful working at home sometimes, because you don't have the change in environment where you can just leave your stress in one place and go to a different place. And so exercise is really important in helping to maintain your stress levels. And before COVID, I didn't really exercise that much. I would maybe go for a jog every 6 months or something. And then in the box, when people ask how active are you, I'm I'm moderately active. And so before I have tried to add exercise into my routine, but it's really hard, especially when you don't do it that often before. It's really hard to be active. It's one milestone to push past the mental block of wanting to do exercise every day, and it's like another like obstacle because of your self-confidence, and it's another obstacle like because like your body is tired. But I think tricking yourself is a good way of like doing exercise every day. It's just a matter of perseverance and like trying and trying again. Even like if it doesn't work out the first, second, third, fourth, 20th time you try, it's just like the more you do it, the more like normal it becomes in your routine. And I think in the beginning, like when I was trying to like add more exercise into my routine, I at first like I got my roommates to like do Zumba with me like once a week, because it's hard to do things by yourself, especially in the beginning. And so it helps have someone else to do these things with you, kind of just like as a buddy with you, so it's like not as daunting to like do these things, or like you don't feel as silly. You shouldn't feel silly to begin with, but then sometimes like we just do, and we can't help it, and it's normal. I have like a really dip in my energy every day at that time. I don't know why, but it just so happens that way. And so like exercising really helps me like like get pumped again to keep on going and working for the rest of the day. I definitely I didn't want to believe this, but I definitely feel like after I started exercising every day, my stress levels, it was so much easier to manage, especially days with high stress. And also like my body, it wasn't in as much pain as before. And when I do skip days for exercise, I can feel the difference in my body. Before I would just sometimes do 15-30 minute like low impact workout per day, like I tried to. But then like the more time I was spending on the computer, the more time like I was doing like things with my wrist, because I do get a lot of wrist pain from typing. I started incorporating like 10-15 minutes of yoga into my exercise routine per day, and that really helped me stay in the game, I think, in terms of like writing proposals, doing homework, and writing cover letters, writing artist statements, writing like things, drawing, because we use our wrists and our hands for everything. And so I think it is only right that we can at least take 15-30 minutes a day, kind of like recharge and to like stretch that out. And definitely like in between like your working on the computer and like working with your wrists, you should be like stretching, doing like some small stretches in between every like 30 minutes or so anyways, but sometimes it's hard to remember that. And so like incorporating that into like a specific time of the day every day, it helps you like maintain your body. And so that way you can keep going in terms of like your end goals. And guys, I know I'm putting a lot of emphasis on like, stretching your wrists and exercising, but I want you to know that I'm not like just pulling this out of my butt, because I was in a place where I was physically unable to do work and to do a lot of things because of these poor work habits. And even if you're young, like even if you don't have the injuries like right now, it's not to say that it's not gonna come later, and it's not supposed to be a scare tactic, because a lot of artists, a lot of people who work on the computer at desks, they do develop tendonitis and carpal tunnel, and it's very real, and it's the worst. It is absolutely the worst when you physically cannot do things that you want to do. And so just doing these like simple but like difficult but simple things can like help prevent you from ever getting to that point and then having to put these things into your routine then, because at that point it's much more difficult and painful to start than just to like trying to do these little things right now. And honestly, you don't need that much space in order to like do a little bit of activity for your body. Like, even if your room only has space for a bed, like, you can still try to do some yoga on your bed. Or, like, if you're limited to a desk, if you're sitting, at a desk job all day, like, just try to, like, stretch your arms a little bit, set a timer. Like, it's just, like, these small things that could really make a big impact for you in the long run. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have your body, there's nothing, literally nothing that you can do. And like, I am a big advocate for mind over matter for a lot of like, like mental health stuff and other things, to like motivate yourself. But I think when it comes to your body, if you're feeling pain or if something's like not right, like listen to your body. If something's like not feeling right, like listen to your body and like do things to like help your body help you. And so thank you so much guys for spending this time with me. I really enjoy like having this time to spend with people who may be going through similar things as me, or like they just need to pick me up every day. And so please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and let me know like some things that you guys do to like love your body throughout the week. I'm always interested to know like what you guys are up to. And so yeah, and so if you like this and you want to see like more things I do to help me stay in the game as I attempt to freelance, just hit the subscribe button and I will be seeing you every single day, and we will keep on trying together until we can fake it until we make it. Yeah!